Here's a real-life example. After the demo drive, we had a process where sales representatives would park the car in front of the showroom in customer parking area. Then, lot porter would come and valet the car away, park it in a designated area for that make and model. One day, a manager was very upset at one of the porters because after 45 minutes and several reminders, the car was still not moved. So this is how the linear approach would look at the problem. The manager would identify the problem. What is the problem? Car was not moved. What causes the problem is the lot porter that didn't do the job. There is direct link between cause and effect. The lot porter is causing the problem. So the manager identifies the lot porter as the cause of the problem, and the solution, of course, is to give him instructions. If he doesn't do it, reprimand him or send him home, write him up or yell at him, and then he would do his job and the problem is solved. Now, let's look at how circular thinking, circular approach would look at this problem. In circular approach, the first thing we do, we identify all the players. So we have the manager, we have two sales managers at the desk, we have the lot porter, we have the sales representative, and we also have some customers around. So this is how the situation unfolds. The manager tells the lot porter to move the car. The porter then approaches the sales representative asking for the key. The sales rep replies to the lot porter that I am in middle of the sale, I need the key for my deal, and I will give it to you a bit later. Few minutes later, the manager, or 10 minutes later, the manager sees that the car is still there. So he communicates again to the lot porter, please remove the car. Lot porter goes again to the sales rep and asks the representative for the key. This time, the sales rep is telling the lot porter, do not bother me and do not interrupt my sales process. So he replies back to the lot porter that you need to go away. After a while, the manager sees still the car is there, so he approaches the lot porter again. Move the car. The lot porter this time goes to one of the sales managers at the desk asking for help. This sales manager says, well, I have some customers I have to attend to. This is crucial. The customer just arrived. I'm busy. I'm going to take care of it in a second. After a while, the manager again reminds the lot porter to remove the car. This time, the lot porter goes to the sales manager, the other sales manager at the desk, and says, I need help with this situation. This sales manager also replies back to the lot porter that I have a customer waiting for me, and this is important. I'll get back to it in a second. I will definitely help you, but you have to wait a second. At this point in time, this manager loses his temper, yells at the lot porter, sending home for the day. So this is how the circular approach looks at this. First of all, we look at the whole system, the whole picture, all the parties. The manager does not exclude himself from this pattern of interaction, whereas in linear approach, the manager just looked outside, did not include himself into that. Then, in circular approach, you look at patterns of interaction in between the individuals. When you look at this, as this pattern of interaction, you can see there are no arrows going back to the manager. There is no communication between the lot porter that explains the situation to the manager. There is no arrows going between the manager to the other sales managers at the desk that explains what's going on. There is no arrows that goes between the sales manager or any of the managers to the sales representative clarifying the situation. Now, there is also the fact that in this context, sales is very important. Customers are more important than getting the key. the manager here needs to prioritize, help to prioritize the task and say, this is crucial. It doesn't matter how many customers you have, you can take one moment to take the key away. Summary, in circular approach, you get the whole picture. You look at the interaction between the individuals, patterns of interaction between the individuals, and you figure out what's missing, and you find solution based on the whole system and not just one individual.